Hello. Hello, hello, hello. Got a very strange camera setup going on. It might be some of my best work yet, but welcome to the Christmas corner. For those of you who have no idea who I am, which is honestly fair, my name is Lindsay Pearce. I am a performer, I'm an actor, I'm a singer, reader, lover of bagels, lover of all things cat. I live currently in New York City. I'm currently in rehearsal to return to Wicked on Broadway. I left on medical leave for an injury that I sustained in the opening week, the reopening week. Big bummer, but I am working to go back. I asked on my socials today if anyone had any questions for me. I said I would keep the questions open until 4 p.m., which is when I am currently filming this. I said if you make them interesting, I just might answer them. The first question that I see is, do you have any tattoos or piercings, and do you want any more? I have many piercings. I have many tattoos. Yes, I always want more. Always. I love my piercings. I love my tattoos. I miss my septum most of all. I took my septum out first week when we reopened Wicked because I needed to be able to put the piercing into like a cleaning solution because the green gets everywhere. And I forgot to put it back in. And now I can't get it back in. So I have a feeling that's gonna have to get re-pierced. Ouch, but whatever. Next question. How long before a show do you get to the theater? If I could live at the theater, I would. I bow down to performers that can show up at the half hour and just do it. The mere thought gives me, my tummy hurts, gives me anxiety. I can't do it. I can't do it. I usually get there about an hour before half hour because I want to, first of all, I want to be in the space. I want to be able to say hi to people. I also like to warm up there. Yes, New York is a loud city. And during rehearsals to reopen Wicked, I warmed up in this apartment quite often, but at like 9:30 in the morning before 10:30 rehearsals, and I started to feel like a bit of a dick. Started to feel like a really bad neighbor. So I truly, while I understand it's just kind of the way of the game, I do prefer to warm up at the theater. I like to stretch, I like to roll out and just feel settled. So I believe the answer to how long before a show do you get to the theater, the answer is I wish I could live there, but about an hour before half hour, maybe an hour and a half before half hour. It varies, it depends. The next question is, I love this. Would you rather travel by broom or bubble IRL? Broom. I would rather travel by broom. I feel like you can control more on the broom. I feel like I am the driver of the broom. I feel like I wouldn't be able to control a bubble. Am I revealing things about my personality? I also just feel like a broom would be exhilarating. It's like your own personal roller coaster. Anyway, next question. Who's the most inspiring person you've ever met and why? Let's talk about Alexandra Billings. Alexandra Billings is our current Madame Morrible. She is one of the most incredible human beings I've ever met in my life. If she ever watches this, she will surely murder me. She'll likely never watch this, so I'm gonna go for it. Alexandra Billings is one of the most kind, generous, compassionate, emotionally steady humans I've ever met in my life. She has taught me so much about love. She has taught me so much about artistry. She's taught me so much about being present. She's just such a constant. She's so incredible. I am so proud to know her. I'm so grateful that I am anywhere near any orbit that she is currently inhabiting, and I learn from her every single day. Alexandra Billings is my answer. Next question is, favorite book set around the holidays? This is one that's coming to me because I just listened to it. A Christmas Carol. Listening to Tim Curry narrate the book, first of all. Get out of town. It's exemplary, it's wonderful, it's fantastic. But having someone actually read it to me, narrate it for me, I was able to hear, and it is probably honestly also Tim Curry's incredible diction and character building, you know, his voices, he's a legend for a reason. There's just so much poetry in that book that I think I missed out on, because I think the last time I read it physically in my hands, I was probably 16, 17. I've always loved I think it's the 1984 filmed version. I love A Muppet's Christmas Carol, best holiday movie ever. I loved the book when I read it. I've never listened to it on audiobook, and I caught so much more of Charles Dickens' beautifully written language, his descriptors, the way in which he personifies morality surrounding what it is to be generous, what it is to be kind, what it is to be compassionate towards your fellow human. Pretty amazing. Next question is one that I get quite often. I get asked about Glee a lot. This one specifically though is pit and peak of your time on Glee. I don't have an answer. I think some folks forget that I was only on the Glee set for 2 episodes, which was a total of about 4 days. There was no peak. There was no pit. I mean, the peak was getting to see it, getting to see what we accomplished, the dancers and I. That was really cool to be able to see physically what the vision of the film plot was when it was finally edited and put onto television. That was really cool. But there wasn't a pit or a peak. I mean, I recorded my songs and I learned my dances and my lines and I went and I did it. I do think though, I wonder if the reason why people think I'm more involved in Glee and in the Glee universe than I actually am is because I did Glee Project, which was like a 10-week endeavor. I'm grateful for the time. It was 10 years ago. I'm like a totally different human being now. And I've learned a lot since then. But not a bad way to start out a struggling career. Next question is, hi love, I'm really curious about what you think about when you are on stage performing. If I'm really locked in, nothing but the moment. And that's in any show. There have been shows where I'm like, oh my God, it's done? I get, the show starts and then it ends and I go, how the hell did we get to the end of Act 2? There are times where I get in my head, I'm like, what are my hands doing? Why are my feet pointed in? Oh my God, my pigeon toes. Does my breath smell? I have to go to the bathroom. How am I gonna do this? I'm tired. So usually if I'm truly in my present moment, I get kind of a blank mind, and it's not autopilot. It's like I'm actively participating in the skit. There are definitely times where I'm like, oh my God, I have to go to the bathroom. Oh my God, I can't believe I got it like garlic bread before this, or I'm so thirsty. I'm sweating so much. A lot of the times there's like one bead of sweat just going right down my back into my butt crack. And it's all I can think about. Any other stage performers out there that are like, please, please, please don't go in there. And it goes in every time. And it's horrible. Then, you move on until it happens again. Next question is, what is your favorite Christmas song of all time? Carol of the Bells. Full stop. Carol of the Bells. It's my favorite. Next question. How many times did you audition for Wicked before you got the role? 1 time. Now, before you go, what? That can't be true. I did 1 round of auditions. I had an audition on a Monday. As I was walking out of that audition, they asked if I could come back on Wednesday. This is all in Los Angeles. Appointment to go in, auditioned for the casting director on Monday, got asked to come back for a call back on Wednesday with a bigger creative team in the room. And then went away for Thanksgiving weekend. This is in 2019. Went home for Thanksgiving to see my family over the weekend, and got a call from my agent on a Saturday, which is very rare because usually the offices are closed, and she let me know something had happened to the tape that Wednesday. Something had happened and the tape got ruined, something with the sound, and could I go in on Monday and audition again in the Telsey office. And I had a gig throughout the entire week. Now bear with me. Stay with me on this. I had a gig to test the new Last of Us game, The Last of Us 2, before it came out at Sony PlayStation in Santa Monica. And I was supposed to test it all that week from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. every single day. I was gonna test the brand new video game. And I said, I am locked into this gig. I don't see how I can get in. You know, they wanted to see me at 3 p.m. Then they asked if they could see me at 10 a.m. And my agent was like, look, you know, they really like you. I said, can they see me at 9 a.m.? Like if I got there at 8:50, could they see me at 9? And then I would have time to get to Santa Monica from Wilshire Boulevard. And she said, yep. Got in, they saw me at 9 in the morning. I sang so many things so very early, walked out of there convinced that I had absolutely blown any chance of ever being singing for Wicked again. Got to Santa Monica late, lost the gig, cried a lot. And then January 2nd, 2020, I found out that I'd booked Broadway. And I haven't quite gotten over it since. So that's a very short version of my audition process for Wicked. Next question. Worst onstage mishap? I might have to do a video, a solo video on that. There's so many. I've never been called graceful in my life. Let's just say that. Leave in the comments below if you would like to see a solo video of all of the times that I have absolutely corpsed or just fucked it up on stage. Next question is from my friend Sean. What's your favorite personal Christmas tradition? I think my favorite Christmas tradition is Christmas morning breakfast. When I was little, I have these really vivid memories of waking up and not being allowed to go and open up presents until we all sat down at our dining table together and had Christmas morning Christmas breakfast, which was usually pancakes, peanut butter and syrup, you know, big thing of eggs and rolls, Christmas rolls with butter, and maybe if we'd done Christmas dinner the night before, maybe like leftover cranberry sauce or cold pumpkin pie for breakfast. And there was something about having 3 older brothers, just these happy, hungry boys, and me, a happy, hungry gal, and my 2 parents, just all getting to be together and just go in on some food. Those are some of my favorite memories, is that tiny moment of being with one another and just eating and joking, and the excitement of presents, the excitement of the day to come, that we all had school off and work off, and you know, it was just, we had time. Just having that time together, my God, just having that time together is something that I will always cherish and that I will always miss. I love my family. The next question is, what do you do when you have doubts about your career/passion? I remind myself that my inner gremlin is a liar and doesn't want the best for me, but my true self does. So I'll listen to her. Next question is, what creative projects have you always wanted to do but haven't due to time or resources? I've always wanted to direct. I think directing is just such an incredible job, and I love how hands-on directing is. I love director and actor relationships. I love the idea that a director takes the hand and heart of the performer, the artist, and just says, do you trust me? Let's do this together. Whatever you need, I'm here to facilitate a good experience for you and help you find what you need to find on this journey. I love that, and I would love to be able to be that for an artist someday. Also, writing. I used to write all the time, specifically poetry, and I used to write stories and short stories, and the amount of novels that I've begun and never finished. I've just always loved to write, but I think I'm scared of what would happen if I completely give myself over to that. I'm sure it's not an unfamiliar feeling to be afraid of your own potential, to be afraid of what would happen if you allowed yourself to be great, or allowed yourself to explore and go towards your dreams. And it's just a self-sabotage thing. I've always wanted to write ever since I was little. I love reading, I love stories, I love storytelling. Storytelling is a huge passion of mine. Another question is, what's your makeup routine? You always look so glowy and I'm jealous. Acne medication. Acne medication. I don't wear foundation anymore. The pandemic kind of nixed that for me. It's very rare for me to have like a full face of makeup. On my skin right now, I'm wearing a BFF cream. It's like a serum that turns into sort of your own skin tone. It makes me feel like myself. Okay, if you were to play a queen, in Six the Musical, which queen would you like to play? The answer is I would like to play literally any of the queens in Six. I just can't dance. I can't dance. Next question is, which Broadway character would Elfie get along with the most and not? I feel like Elfie would go toe-to-toe with Hades in Hadestown. I don't think she'd like Hades very much. I don't think she'd be having any of that. Who Elfie would get along with most would probably be, I feel like Elfie and Nala from Lion King. I feel like they would really vibe. Also Angelica Hamilton, I feel like Elfie and Angelica I think they would get along. The final question is, if you can capture one moment of your life in a snow globe, what moment would it be? Reopening Wicked on Broadway. Those 3 hours that we all spent together was one of the most incredible, special, spiritual, beautiful moments I've ever experienced up until this point in my life, and I don't know if I'll ever experience something quite like that ever again. But that show wasn't about us. That show was about the people in those seats. Also, my ears popped when we were bowing. The applause was so loud that my ears popped and they rang all night long. I have this specific memory of that night of, we got done with the bows, the scrim came down, it came back up, and Stephen Schwartz had come backstage with us, and all of the set had basically moved out of the way, so it was just like an empty wall in the back, and the house lights were up so we could see everybody, and everyone had been applauding for like 5 minutes, and they brought the curtain back up and we all stepped out and we got to see everyone, actually see everyone. I saw everybody with their masks on, crying and cheering and clapping and pointing and waving. And it's not lost on me what an honor and a privilege being there in that moment was, is, and forever will be. To everyone who submitted questions, thank you so much for taking the time to write them out and send them to me. Any other questions, feel free to leave them in the comments. Maybe I'll do another one of these another time. Thank you so much for joining me. If you have any other suggestions of things that you would like to see, videos you would like me to make, I am doing vlogmas, 1 video a day, every single day until Christmas. Thank you always. Thank you forever. Love you, mean it.